my name's Leanne. I am a Love Notions ambassador, and you can also find me on Instagram at @ThreadyForIt. Today, I am doing a video all about how to hand sew buttons. I thought it would be a good video to do because next week, I think, after this video goes up, the new pants patterns from Love Notions is going to be out. The Glissando, I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're really cute. And they have a fully functional button fly, so buttons are key for this. So I thought along with how to hand sew the buttons, I could also give some options for buttons that you could use for your pants. I think since the buttons are going on the fly and that's really the only thing holding them together, I wouldn't pick a thin button. I would pick one that's a bit wider. So like this is a pretty thin button. I hope you can see that. And I think I got this one from Joann's, but I would go thicker than that. Maybe something like about this size. So there's more reinforcement there. And I usually get my buttons from Joann's just because that is the closest store with the most options to me. But I realized that Tabitha Sewer on Instagram, she has her own button company now. So I pretty much only buy my buttons from her. And I have this one. And the one thing I really like about her buttons is that all of them are pretty thick. And she has colorful options, holographic, sparkly options, different shapes. And then she has these neutral colored ones that I gravitate towards. And I think for mine, I'm going to use these buttons. So when it comes to picking out your buttons, 1/2 inch or bigger, you could measure the space that you have on your fly to see the biggest you could go if you want bigger, and thicker I think is better for strength. If you have the fabric that you want to use and you are going to a store to buy a button, I would bring a swatch of it so that you can see what will go best, because sometimes when you think what will go with your fabric doesn't, and sometimes buttons surprise you. So keep your options open. The button world is your oyster. Now let's get into sewing buttons. So for today's video, I'm going to show you how to hand sew buttons. I have 3 different types. I have the 4 buttonhole like this, the 2 buttonhole, and then lastly the shank button, which is flat on the front usually and the hole is at the bottom. The 4 and 2 buttonhole ones, these two, it's a pretty similar technique, and this one is just only a little different, but they're both very easy to master. Let's get started. So I'm going to show you 3 different types of buttons that you can hand sew. I have the 4 buttonhole, the 2 buttonhole, and then the shank button. So first, I think we're going to do the 4 buttonhole, but first we need to tie our knot. So you're going to take your needle between your thumb and middle finger. Also, I'm left-handed, so this might be, probably is in reverse for you. Take your tail threads right here, put it behind your needle and pinch that all together, and then you're going to take the thread and wrap it around the needle 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. You want to kind of pull it down and pinch that. And then you're going to hold the thread that you just wrapped while pulling the needle until it goes all the way through and ends in sometimes a goofy looking but still functional knot. Then you want to cut the tails. I also sometimes like to use thread gloss so that it doesn't get knotty. So for that, you just pinch the thread down and pull it through. So first up, the 4 buttonhole. I like to start from the top. So you're just going to go in and you want to come out not too far away, and this is going to be where your button will be sitting. So you pull it there, and then you're going to stick the needle through one of the buttonholes. And for the 4 button, you're going to be going in an X pattern. So from this one, you're going to go here and then here to here. So you're just going to go through this one, through the back, pull it tight. So it will look like that. And then you're going to want to try to find the other one. Here we go. Come up through the hole to the right of it. Pull that tight, and then you're going to go through this one. So that's the process for how to do it. And then you're going to keep going back and forth until you think it's secure enough. This is what your button looks like. And to finish it off, you're going to want to come back through, but you want to go not in any of the buttonholes. You want to go just to the outside, still under the button. Pull it through. And then you're going to want to wrap this thread around the button 3 times. So you take it, 1, 2, 3. And then from here, you want to go around the same area where you came out to wrap it around, pull it through, and before the loop closes, you want to go back through the loop to make a knot. And you're going to want to do that 2 times. And then from there, you just want to snip the thread. And that's the 4 buttonhole. And it's pretty secure. And this is what the back looks like. Okay, I'm going to try and use up this small bit of thread to do, this is the shank button, so we're going to do a knot again. Hold the needle between your thumb and middle finger, tails behind the needle, pinch it all together, and then wrap 1, 2, 3, pinch what you just wrapped, pull the needle through, and then here's your knot. Clip the tail. And for this one, you're going to start it the same way. From the top, you go in just a little off from where you want the needle to start, come up through where you want the button to be. And for this one, you're going to want to just pull the needle through. You don't have to pull this one tight at first, because since there's only 1 buttonhole to go through, you're gonna have to go through the fabric for half of it. So we just went through the hole. Now we're going to just kind of go close to where you started, pull it through, and now it's gonna be tightened. And then from here, you want to bring the needle back through the buttonhole to the other side, pull it through, and you're going to just keep doing that until you think your button is secure enough. Okay, I think that's good. So from here, we're not going to wrap it around, so we're just going to go straight into doing the knot. So you're going to want to pick a spot under the button to go in and out with your needle, and then before the loop closes, you want to go back in through it like this, and then pull it to make a knot, and then do that one more time. And pull the knot tight. Then we want to snip the thread off. And that is how you do the shank button. And this is what the back looks like. So our last button is just a 2-hole button. This is very similar to the 4, except it's just going back and forth. So we have our thread that needs to be knotted. Thumb in middle, 2 tails behind the needle, pinch it all together, wrap 1, 2, 3, hold the thread in this hand, pull the needle in this hand. And it's gonna, I kind of hold these 2 fingers in the loop to make sure nothing gets tangled. Pull it through, and there's a knot. Snip the tail, and then if you want to use any thread conditioner, again, I'm using, this is a Ponderosa thread gloss. It's their Cascade one. It smells like Christmas. So you just want to hold the thread and pull it through. So we're gonna, again, start at the top, go in a little ways away from where you want your button to start. So where your needle comes out and where your button is going to be sitting. I'm gonna cut that thread tail a little more. So then take your button, needle through the first buttonhole. Then you want to kind of hold it where you want it to go. Then go through the second buttonhole, out the back, pull it tight, and then from here you're going to just go back and forth between these 2 until you think it's secure. So it's going to be looking like that. I use the thread on the back as a guide to find the buttonholes. Otherwise it takes too many tries to get it where you need it to go. Okay, so I think that's enough just for, since this isn't going to be functional, but so we're going to do the same thing we do with the 4 buttonholes, where we go out the side that's under the button still, pull it, and then wrap it around 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to knot it twice. So pull it through. Before this loop closes, go through it again, then pull the knot tight. And then once more, pull it through, knot it, tighten, and then you want to cut the thread off. And then there is the 4 buttonhole, and this is what the back looks like. So that's how you do all 3 of those buttons. So that's the end of my video on all things buttons. I hope it was helpful, and I hope it helps you feel more confident when it comes to sewing buttons by hand. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, because I'm going to try to answer any that pop up. Or you can message me on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram like more than I should be. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're excited for the pants pattern, because it's really cute, and I can't wait to see what you make with it. Okay, bye.